So dream movie to make would be, it's a tale about a sailor, and why I would want to make my own version is any like film or cinema you see about a sailor, they're always having the best time of their lives. But like being on an actual ship it's not fun. Like Pirates of the Caribbean, they're like, oh, I can swing from ship to ship and all and do this stuff, but it's actual terrible. Like you need to like do everything the captain says and everything like that, and it's like a living nightmare for actual sailors.
My dream movie to make would probably be a folk horror film, because I think that it's really effective when you can unsettle your audience using elements that they would traditionally find positive and comforting.
The director I would like to work with is Robert Eggers, because his like way of like putting time, like it's a time machine watching his movies, because everything is historically accurate down to the clothing that they wear, the dialogue, the setting pieces, everything is just made how it would be made back then. Like for example, in The Witch, his like first directorial debut, he had like candlelight. He did not have any like light, it was only daylight and candlelight.
A director I would like to work with, it would probably be Wes Anderson. I think that it's very cool when you can watch a film and know who directed it based on the color palette and casting choices and camera angles, and that's something that I would really like to learn from.
So worst movie of all time has to be Doctor Strange Multiverses of Madness, and it's absolutely terrible. It's like from the bad visual effects, from the pacing of the story, from anything. It's just like, and also the PG-13 ratings, like people have been saying that it's like horrific what like Wanda did to all these people, and I looked at it and it was like, this is like so comical, like this is bad. And it's just, everything about it is just pure and utter just garbage. Like the acting, the way they like laugh, and every scenario ever, everything's a joke, and Marvel in general is just getting to that repeative cycle of just garbage.
The worst movie that I've ever seen is probably The Falling, 2014. It's a movie starring Florence Pugh, and it's probably the most confusing film that I've ever seen. I've never watched a movie and been so confused by every single second of it so intensely, and I would never watch it ever again for that reason.
So for Dreamcast, it would be Robert De Niro, Samuel L. Jackson, William Dafoe, and then probably Florence Pugh and Michelle Yeoh. And I feel like that is probably my favorite Dreamcast, because I feel like I want to say they want to work together. Like I feel like if they had the same chemistry and everything, they would work together, and they would make a very good film. And each have their own acting style, but I feel like it would complement each other's acting style. And especially for the actors I've chosen, I've never seen them in like a film together where they're working side by side.
My dream cast for a film would probably be Florence Pugh, Mia Goth, and Emma Darcy. They are all, they have their own character to them, and they bring something to the table that's so mesmerizing and hypnotizing to the watcher that you just can't look away when you see them on screen.
Worst movie trope, I feel like, is when the director goes head over heels and he just completely turns the plot of the movie around, like a very unneeded and unexplained plot twist. Basically the whole movie of Star Wars: The Last Jedi, because that was like, it just goes from back and forth to like all these unnecessary things where it's like nothing is explained, and it feels like he was just trying to like, oh, how can I surprise the audience? And then he does it, but not in a good way. Once you watch that movie, it's just one big ball of confusion, and you're like, what is going on in this movie?
The movie trope I hate the most is when the male lead and the female lead get together at the end of the movie, but they've had no chemistry the entire time. It's so forced and so boring, and half the time they have more chemistry with the side characters than with each other, so I hate it.